What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We're back with another umamusume video. Hope y'all had a good weekend. In this video, I just realized this again. I don't know what's going on with this whole thing, but hope y'all had a good weekend. In this video, as you can see, we are going to be training Rhein Kraft. I was just looking through my umas to see who I can train for short distance, and I saw that she can, so here we are. I did train. You can see the UA8 Curran as one of the parents. I did train her over the weekend. We will still train you, Curran. I just wanted to train a different Uma. But for the setup, this was a setup I've been using. I've been getting close to 800 stamina. So I don't know if I'm okay with that. I haven't decided if I'm okay with it just yet. So I'm gonna keep going with this setup for now. Who knows, maybe in like during this week or starting next week I just swap back to the stamina setup. Who knows, but Teo and Almond Eye for my speed cards. Austin Machan for the Guts card that I'm borrowing. Casino Drive friend card. Forever Young, a Wise card, and Tamamo Power. That is the setup. So, with that being said, we're gonna get the run started. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Quest for those. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those that haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It's called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit the question join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. Then after that, head over to the comment section or the circle request channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, let us get started with this run. I think this is also the first time I'm training the original Rhein Kraft. I know I've trained the other one. So we'll see how this one goes. We shall see how this one goes. As for what I've done so far over the weekend, because for those who don't know, my Monday videos that you guys are watching right now are normally posted on Sundays, or recorded on Sundays is what I meant to say. Played some NTE, played some WUA to just basically explore around the new area, get the ascension flowers for Hyuki, all that, pretty much the usual for a new area, new patch, whatever, new character stuff. Did I do any other games? I don't think I did any other games. I do want to check up on Enfield, I believe. Is there something in Enfield I wanted to check? Possibly. There are things I can do in Enfield regardless. But I kind of still just want to just catch up on NT, or not catch up, but make progress on NTE and all that. So I don't think there's. I don't think I've done anything else with those games or with the other games. At least not worth mentioning. I don't know if it's worth mentioning. It's not really, so I guess that's it for that. I guess that's it for that. But no, the plan for the rest of today, for me Sunday, like I said, just this more of the same. Probably play more NTE for the most part. So there you go. There you go. Actually, I could do Star Rail. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could get started on Star Rail. It's been like a week, almost 2 weeks, a week and a half, I think. I think. I'm not too sure. That I can get started on. Yeah, 'cause Star Rail didn't update this past week, so it has to be the other week. And literally before Star Rail updated, like a couple days before, I had just caught up. So technically, I'm behind again. I am behind again on Star Rail. Then Zenless, there's 3 events from what it looked like, but I didn't really take a good look at them. So I know for sure one of them seems like there is something to do. I think that's the Men in Black looking one. As for the other two, I haven't taken a look at them, or at least read what it's, or looked at the missions, because then that would just give me a clue on we're doing, I guess. Um, I don't know if there's any Genshin events going on. Wuwa obviously with this release last week, or at least from since I guess from the time I'm uploading this video. Yeah, from the time I'm uploading this video, hasn't even been a week since they updated, so perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, we will be perfectly fine. Zenless, I believe it's this week, right? Yeah, Zenless is this week. So there's that. Oh, wait, so that means I do need to do Zenless. The realization just hit me. Zenless is updating this week, so I do need to do Zenless this week or today. Hmm. I guess I'll do it before I jump into NT. Dang. I wanted to play NT right away. Oh well, I'll just jump in Zenless and see what's going on. And see what's going on. Good thing I decided to think about my games, I guess. It made me realize Zenless was. I needed to do Zenless things because I didn't check earlier today when I was doing dailies. I just, you know, did the dailies and continued on. And Zenless is usually the first game that I do for the late night dailies, late night, early morning, however you want to call it. But good to know. Good to know for myself at least, and for and for anyone, I guess, listening or watching that plays Zenless and hasn't done the events. Although it is technically a day later for you guys, since, like I said, I am saying this. Um, I am recording this on Sunday, and obviously this is Monday for you guys. Um, there still should be time, even if it was a day later. If I'm gonna be honest, so I think you should be fine still. If you didn't do it, you just gotta just do it all. You just gotta do it all. But yeah, it was a good thing that I thought about my games because I almost would have just said I would have just let Zenless slide. I was dead set on playing NTE. Like I was dead set on playing NTE first. So man, but it's all right. That is the one responsibility you have as a gotcha player who plays multiple gotchas instead of one. Although that brings up the question: do you think a normal average gotcha player to most likely be playing more than one gotcha? I personally feel like they would at least play a few, like a normal gotcha player. I wouldn't feel like they would exactly be stuck with one, because I feel like at one point they're let's say they're just playing that one game for a while, and they get a little bit bored. You know, let's say maybe because they're just waiting for the next patch for update or whatever. Then they decide to pick up another game. Or is it more normal for a normal gacha player to play one game? Personally, like I said, I feel like a normal gacha player would at least play maybe like three? Three maybe? Just based off whatever they're interested in. So yeah, you could say like a mix of Uma, Zenless, and what's another different one? What's a different one? Or like in a rhythm game like Bang Dream. It's a good variety. Nothing of the same sort, but I feel like if you get stuck to like one certain thing, you tend to drift towards those games, kind of like people who played Genshin. So, want to check out how Star Rail is, or they just want to see another Hoyo game to check out how Star Rail is. Repeat with Zenless, and then, or I guess repeat with Wuwa first, because Wuwa came out before Zenless. Wuwa's like, you know, gives you that same vibes as Genshin, pretty much, if we're just gonna go for a straight up comparison. So yeah. At least that's how I feel like. Nah, for me it was more like I just wanted to play more games. I just wanted to play more games and I needed more variety. Couldn't really stick with whole one gacha game. Because even 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, I was still playing at least like 3 at the minimum. So, like off the top of my head, Puzzle League, uh, Brave Frontier. I was playing Dokkan already by then. I remember there was this SAO game that I played from launch until EOS. I mentioned this before that I even led the guild in that game. Yeah, I like that game too. That was pretty fun. It's technically more, right? No. But I guess I should start going over comments before it gets a little too late, and I'm gonna have to finish the comments even after I choose out the skills, so unless there's something what was I even talking about? Gotcha games from like 10 years ago? That's gonna be hard to remember if I'm gonna be honest. That is just going to be hard to remember. So I'm just gonna go over the comments. I'm trying to think. But yeah, starting with Nova's comments, because there is actually, since majority is Nova's and the only other one is Tanogi's, I'll just go over Tanogi's to begin with. So let me refresh just in case another comment squeezed in, just in case. And then so the comment from Tanoki says, "Shoo shoo be sniffling. Get well soon." Thank you, Tanoki. It's like I said, I'm not exactly sick. I just do be sniffling. It's a normal occurrence over the year, I would say, like I've mentioned. Especially if the weather fluctuates from hot and cold or warm to cold. But recently the weather has been more on the colder side, I would say. Yeah, I would say has been more on the colder side. The past few weeks were before it got cooler. There was like a few days in between where it did get pretty warm. We hit daily reset. But before that, before it got cooler, it was like a week and a half to 2 weeks of it being stupid warm or hot, like in the 90s, late High 90s, mid 90s. The lowest would be like just 90s, 90. I guess since we're here, let's do the free 10 pull for the support banner. Bam, bam. One more? Oh. Oh. Well, this is interesting. Well, this is interesting. So, for yesterday's, there's 5 more, or 3 more? 5 more? Whatever it is. So yesterday I ended up getting a copy of the Agnes Digital. So I think I do have a dupe on that one. Then now I just got a copy of speed cards, so I don't think I'll pull, to be honest, because like I don't know, I'm pretty tempted for the speed card, but I could just save, or I could try for Stay Gold since she is here. Since she is here, but am I? I don't know. Let's go back into the training and yeah, like I was saying, I don't normally sniffle. Also, I said there was a huge possibility that it could just be the spring allergies, which do I think could it really be spring allergies? I don't know. It just never really happened to me, so I never really thought of it as spring allergies. But considering that it could be the first time, maybe it is. So who knows? But right now I'm fine. Like, I'm not really sniffling or whatever. But regardless, other than that, thank you, Tanogi, for the comment and for the concern. Appreciate it as always. And for the rest of the comments, all are going to be from Nova. Starting off with, I guess now I have my big 4 gotchas with Wuwa, Zenless, and Field, NTE. It feels good to know that I'm playing in the big league. Yeah, those games are pretty much, I guess, yeah. NT just released, but can you push him into the big leagues? You can. They even had the cojones to release during Wuwa's anniversary, so Enfield, I say Enfield has been doing well. At least that's what it feels like, right? They've been doing fine, right? I would think so, especially after this Fang Yi banner. I would think so, at least. I would think so, at least. Should I just rest? Nah. Wu was endless. Yeah, those are definitely up there. Failed that training. Wait, but don't you play any? You do play Girls Frontline. That is a pretty big name gotcha. I would say. I guess if you want to put in comparison to those four, if we're talking about like gameplay wise and all that, yeah, I guess so. Fair enough. There are characters that get to be playable even if they are not aligned to the player. For example, Frolova is still not on Rover's side, so it's kind of weird that she is playable. As for deceased characters to be playable, it is doable. I guess relevance is the only way I can see Sunbringer being playable. Oh yeah, Sunbringer's relevance would just be her being the first Void Hunter, and her name always does come back. So, it's not like she doesn't have a relevance in the lore. She has, from what it seems, a pretty heavy relevance in the lore. I mean, no, deceased characters can still be playable. It's just up to the developers or the developers if they wanna release said deceased characters. You know, that's pretty much it. Because yeah, let's take Zenless for example. They totally could have released Isolde if they wanted to. All they had to do was release her before, I would say, yeah, before they killed her off in the game. That's what I would say at least. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do for all characters in games that were planned to be deceased if they don't release the characters. As for characters like Frolova, who are basically just enemy characters, I guess, so to speak. I don't think it's weird or not doable or whatever. What I'm trying to say, I don't think it's, yeah, I don't think it's not doable to do enemy characters. I'm fairly certain I've played games that has released enemy characters. At least I am. At least I feel sure. I feel sure. So, yeah. Is it weird? Is it not a normal thing? Or is it, has it not happened in other gacha games, I should say? I feel like it has. Oh no. I don't know. I do still need to play more Mongol, but with the things that's been happening with the whole NTE getting released, kind of just getting caught up on that. I don't know why I kind of just put NTE over Mongol for now. Then I gotta still do Mongol, then I still gotta do Starvale, then for all of that I gotta do Zenless events because it updates this week. But speaking about Mongol, I finally did my first limited character pulls. Not on the first one, but on the second one that they released, I think a couple of days ago, sometime last week. It was the reason why, it was a character, the reason why I didn't want to pull for the first character they released. Although I do still want her. Although I don't know how their gacha system goes, all I can say is that I got fairly lucky in my pulls in Mongol. I'd say I got, from what I remember, I got the character in the first 10 pull that I did. And then the weapon I did with, I think, either in 3 or 4 pulls. So I think that's how I remembered it. I think that's how. Yeah, I do remember doing more weapon pulls. But yeah, there's that. I guess I can try out 2 runners and 1 betweener for the League of Heroes. I want to see if I can get to Plat 4. It's gonna be hard since I won't be locked in with this League of Heroes. But are we ever truly ever locked in with the League of Heroes? That's a real question. I mean, my prep is the same as CM prep. If it wasn't obvious, so. Admire Groove and Loves Only You gonna smack with my Betweeners Only team. Then they're both only, well, they're both best for medium distance, I should say. Lucila can wait, Shoo Shoo. Just be patient. It's not that I'm not patient, it's just I'm just bothered by their decision on not releasing her at I guess her perfect time that she could have been released. But one can argue that Lene rerun was for Hiyuki team. Yeah, that was like um when I asked about it last time and you said it was for people who forgot to pull for Amith. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Because then they could have just done it for the anniversary if they really wanted to be. Should we just call it rude? Yeah, I guess you could say rude. to the gotcha players, to the Wuba players that didn't pull for Lene. Because they're like, oh, now they gotta worry about Hiyuki, but now they gotta worry about a Lene rerun. Especially if they want to use Lene with Hiyuki. I mean, I guess they pretty much did it, releasing it prior to Hiyuki, but it would have been technically funnier if they did it as one of the rerun banners in the anniversary along with Hiyuki, and they had released Lucila prior. Just saying. Just saying. It's too assuming for you to think that I'm normal. Nope. Me be weird AF and a bit cuckoo. Oh no, I've noticed you being weird and I guess a bit cuckoo. We're gonna use your words, your wordage, however you want to say it. I kept up with Genshin lore just because it is interesting. The gameplay itself, not so much for me. I guess. It is too assuming, but that's just what you would think, right? Oh, and I gotta do a raise. Yikes. I think this one is cheeks. Just right now, just by looking at how things are. The dates aren't done. Stats? It could be better. I'm only doing Ys just so I can get more energy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, normally if you get over something or you stop playing something or stop doing something, normally your interest would decline along with it. Unless, of course, it's like a sport. You used to play a sport, basketball, soccer, baseball, whatever. After you stop playing, you're still interested by watching the professional sport, following the professional sport. There are, I guess, some exceptions. But yeah, normally you would just not care anymore, right? Like all the games that I dropped was basically just immediately just I didn't really have a hard time separating from it. Or yes, I guess that's the best way I could word it. Yeah, but I didn't really have a hard time separating from the game because I just didn't want to have nothing to do with the game anymore because it just didn't interest me anymore. I guess. Oh, I exchanged the 50 pulls for the chick with the half wing. I don't know who that is. Like I said, mine is the chick with the hat, but I don't know who the. For all I know, that the chick with the half wing could be the exact character that I was picking between the hat chick and I guess the half wing girl. NTE does have unlockable costumes just by bond. That is a feature I would like in other gachas. Actually, in other gachas that has the bond feature, I would like for them to utilize that a little bit better to give free to play players at least more like accessories, costumes, more things to mess around with in our account, even if it's something little like, well, I say little, yeah, little like accessories, I guess. Kind of like in Star Rail where they're giving like they release accessories for us to put on Trailblazer. I I don't think it's only just on Trailblazer. I don't think, but it could be. But I mean, Girls Frontline did give free costumes off of the, I forgot what they're called, what shop they're called, but they aren't the best, but they are costumes. They aren't the best, but they are costumes. Star Rail hasn't really released that much skins. Now that I'm thinking about it. Genshin has a good amount of skins, but they also have released like free skins for free-to-play players. Or just for players in general. Zenless obviously has given us free skins, whether if it's for Belle or the main character, whether between Belle or Wise, whoever you chose. And the event ones, like the Pan Yinhu one. Or the Jane Doe one, if you have Jane Doe. But those weren't utilized through Bond. I just feel like they could give more to the players in general. Whether if it's costume, accessories, whatever they can, you know, like spice up the account with something. With the Bond feature. I feel like it's underutilized in a way. Well, you are right that I did swipe for currency last year in GFL 2, but now I don't really since I have a reserve of 60k. 60k rocks. I also skipped Sakura, so that helped me out. I just get the monthlies and battle pass. Skins are non-negotiable. I'm getting all of them. But you're still getting currency and the currency to pull. You're basically getting currency to pull for the indie banners with the monthlies and battle pass. So regardless, it's still the same as getting currency or swiping for currency in a way. It may not be fully for currency, but and yeah, I assume you've pretty much gotten. I'm assuming you're getting every skin, and then along the way, if another skin comes out for another character, you would decide between the two. Like, if you like the newer one, you would buy it. But if you prefer the older one, you just keep the older one. Unless you're really buying all the skins, and that's a whole different assumption that I didn't assume. Aleva versus Helen. Comparing a flatland to Mount Everest. It was the first... Well, I mean, Helen was the obvious person or character we were comparing, but like, it's not my fault that Leva was literally the first other character opposite of Helen when it comes to chest size that I thought of first. Like, yeah, it could have been someone else, but it wasn't, so it's not my fault. Is it? Speaking of 100 Girlfriends, season 3 is coming, and we'll get to see how that Chad gets a grandma to fall in love with him. I feel like him... I feel like the fact that it's a grandma is what's getting you excited. I don't know why. You could deny it, but I don't know why. That's why I feel like you're getting excited. See, I don't need to grab that one if it doesn't have the evolution or whatever. Huh, I actually thought I may not have had enough skill points. But what can I even grab with 72 besides the green skill? I'll just grab a green skill. But all gotchas is the last comment, by the way. But all gotchas will have the EOS at some point. It is what it is. That is true. That is definitely true. But thank you, Tanoki and Nova, for all the comments. Appreciate as always. But back to that last comment, that is definitely true. All games will eventually end up to EOS. Whether if it's sooner or later. Regardless of their success, so to speak. Let's see, how did we do with the first Rhein Kraft training? UA2. It's alright. Could have been better. Yeah. It could have. Definitely could have. Because my peak is UA9. Like halfway of UA9. So definitely could have been better. Ended off with 2146 speed, 771 stamina, 1694 power, 1304 guts, 1676 on wise. We are a little bit closer on stamina for 800 at the very least, but I still want it to be higher if I can. If I can. If not, then it is what it is. And we didn't get an S aptitude on short distance or whatever. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know how you guys' weekend were. If there's any, or more like, if you're prepping for the League of Heroes currently, who you guys are thinking of bringing for your team. And if there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined our Discord server, link is down in the description down below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.